one of the chapters that I loved the most was what's worthy of your worry, and especially knowing I've never heard it said like this, but knowing the difference between wondering and worrying. And I was wondering if you could talk about that.
So this really, I think, comes back to anxiety. And I am, like, I say in the book, it might be the first sentence, that I am an anxious person. I will find it right now.
Let me check
Oh,
tab number 1.
It's my mind is well versed in anxiety. That's the first sentence of the entire book, and it's true. So the way that my anxiety manifests is sort of looping thoughts where I'll become so concerned with something that I have trouble getting things done because my mind is focusing on something. It's worrying in a way that it shouldn't, or it's worrying about something that I should worry about, but like years from now or months from now or days from now. I think one example I use in the book, or just one example in general, is something like traveling, where you can worry about whether your flight's going to be on time or packing, but you're not going to pack like 2 weeks before your trip, right? Yeah. You can only pack, there's a window where it makes sense to be worrying about that specific trip. And I think that applies to plenty of creative things as well. I talk in the book about when is a good time to worry or to sort of obsess over whether what I'm creating is any good. I think there are plenty of parts in my process, like the beginning of any new project, I don't want to be thinking about whether the work is good. I just want to be doing something. I just want to be getting something down that I can edit later. But this idea of worrying versus wondering, some questions are productive. Some questions, it's worth it to mull them over multiple times. Things like, how am I finding and connecting with the kind of people that I want to work with? How am I nurturing long-term relationships with collaborators who I just really want to work with again and again and again? That's a really productive question, but thinking like, oh, this one conductor, I really want to work with them. How do I get them to do my music? Like, I've already sent them my music. They already know who I am. They already know where to find my music, but how do I get them to like me more? That doesn't help anything, right? I have no control over that person's emotions and feelings towards me. Like, if I'm already, I've made that connection, I've sent them a few pieces, I can be nice to them at conferences maybe, right? I can send them an email from time to time with a new piece, but I cannot control whether any one person in particular likes or does not like my work.
Yeah.
So that is a very unproductive question to worry about. And noticing that difference when you find yourself, the first step, of course, is just catching yourself in those repetitive thought patterns or noticing the same question popping up. But once you do, then you can sort that question into, do I have any control over this at all? And if I don't, then it's probably not worth my time.
Yeah, absolutely. There's there's so many times, well, like you said, there can be like a flip side to either thought of that. I'm someone who always ends up picturing themselves, and say if I am applying for a different job or if I'm applying for something, I'm like wondering what my life would be if I was in that or stuff. But then you can go on the opposite side of negativity, and what happens when I don't get it? What will they think and all this stuff? So yeah, it's a really real thing. But just I found a way of just the idea of wondering and worrying. It's a good way to think about it.